and welcome to the show. Salt Covers here, back recording while on vacation. That's right, we are filming from an undisclosed hotel location right now. It is Sunday, 13th of April. Make sure you go follow me at Salt Covers on Twitter. Get these bets as I place them. By the time I hit record, sometimes they are no longer available. Also like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Looking back, so yeah, didn't record yesterday, didn't tweet yesterday, no games on, but we had a 15 game slate on Friday where we went 1-3. Just a very frustrating day. We cashed the over between the Celtics and Hornets. Model like that over. It was an ugly over to take, but we cashed that. But that Memphis and Denver game, just super frustrating. I'm looking at it right now. Memphis had a 98% chance to cover that game in the last 3 minutes. When there was 3 minutes to go, 98% chance to cover. Just bullshit. The total, yeah, we missed on both the total and the spread. The total, that game closed at 245. So we walked into that game with a great ticket, but it didn't cash. Raptors plus 11, yeah, happy to chalk that one up as an L. That was bad read. Raptors lose by 20. They were down by almost as much as 40. So, another 15 game slate. We'll briefly look at each game, but there are some games where I'm just going to skip, especially the ones that I don't have any action in. We are also going to discuss some of the play-in games and then some of the playoff games that have had markets posted. I'm going to be more or less off the grid for the next 3 days. I might have internet reception, I might not, but I'm definitely not going to have any capacity to record. So that's why we're going to discuss these playoff games. Let's get into it. Who's the first game? We got so many games to talk about. Yeah, and honestly, like half of these projected lines and totals, just don't even look at them because all of these teams, like in these meaningless games, these teams just aren't even playing the starters, not even playing the top 7 players. Here we have Magic and Hawks. Honestly, just gonna skip this game. This has just had some very weird line movement. Like the Hawks were favored, then the Magic were favored. Now the Magic are favored by 3, but Orlando's entire team is sitting out. Here we see the Hornets and Celtics again. Celtics top like 7 players aren't playing. Just another game not really worth talking about. We saw it open at around 11, 10.5. Hasn't really moved. We've seen the total move down off 213 or 211 to 209. Probably Celtics, like Peyton Pritchard, Baylor Scheiman, like they will probably just carry them to the win and the cover. That's all I've got for this game. So let's move on. Knicks and Nets. This is one that I'm kicking myself I didn't take. We saw the spread open at 8. It is now at 6, or now at 4.5. Jesus. The Knicks locked into that 3 seed. Hounds, Brunson, OG probably not playing. Total opened at around 214. It is now 212. So if you're holding a Nets plus 8, that's a great ticket, but I am not. So let's move on. Pacers Cavs actually opened at Pacers minus 4.5. Now at Pacers minus 6. I understand that. Cavs top 7 players aren't playing, at least with the Pacers. You got Neesmith, Nembhard, Turner. At least they've got some guys that can play. They're definitely bringing out the stronger team. It is now 7. We see this total open around 227, hasn't really budged there. Again, a lot of these games just are not worth betting whatsoever. And I've got 3 bets locked in today. Probably would have had more if I could keep my eyes on an odd screen, seeing these lines move, but we do not. Now we have Wizards Heat. Basically, all of these Eastern Conference games just don't matter because the East is set. There's no changing the playoff order there. In terms of line movement for this game, literally 0 line movement. So let's move on. Pistons Bucks. Another meaningless game. Giannis probably going to sit out. We saw the spread open at 5.5. It is now at 9.5. Total hasn't really moved. Just another game worth skipping. Bulls 76ers. Saw this open at 9.5. It is now 8.5. Understandable. Bulls probably going to sit out some players. Another meaningless game. We have seen this total rise up quite a bit. From 232.5 up to 236. I don't really understand that, given that the Bulls probably going to sit out Giddey, Kobe White, Vucevic. Nothing from me here. Can we just get to a game where I've got a bet? Okay, Clippers Warriors. This is one that I have not bet as of recording, but it's one that I'm looking at pretty hard. So we saw this spread open at Warriors -4.5. Then Steph Curry pops up on the injury report. He's listed as questionable for this game, but he's been quoted saying that he's playing. There is no way he sits out this game. This is such an important game for both the Clippers and the Warriors. This is a pseudo playoff game. This is basically a play-in game. It's like you win, you get in that top 6. You lose, you go to the play-in. You have to fight your way back into the playoffs. So this is basically a play-in game. I expect Curry to play. I like the Clippers in this spot. We got this game projected at Warriors -2. So Curry got marked as questionable. This spread goes to Warriors -2, and it has started creeping back up towards the. It has started creeping back towards the Warriors. We see 3.5 currently available. There are some 4s as well. I want to see a 4.5 pop up at -110. If I can get a 5, that would be fucking amazing. But yeah, I like the Clippers in this spot. If you don't have time to watch how these lines move, maybe even take a Clippers money line. I want a Clippers +4.5. I would take that for 2 units if you could get me that at -110. Since I can't get that, let's move on. Total did open at around 222.5. It has since moved down. I'm certainly not playing an over on this game either, because it is basically a playoff game. But yeah, Clippers +4.5. If you can pick that up, go grab it. I will not. Finally, game that we've got a bet on. We've got the Nuggets and the Rockets. Fairly clean injury reports on both sides, but this is obviously a game where Houston, they're going to play their starters around half the game. Coach Udoka, he has been quoted as saying he doesn't want his players to get rusty. So, Rockets expect all of their starters to play, but they're not going to play heavy minutes. So we got this game projected at Rockets -7, but we see it at Nuggets. We see this at Nuggets like -9, which understandable. The Rockets, they're going to play half the game. I'm certainly it's in terms of the side, it's Rockets or nothing, but I just can't get there with playing a Rockets -9 in a game where the starters can only play 15 or 20 minutes. So instead, where I've gone is I've played the over, played it at 232. we see this projected total at 235 and a half. We see the Nuggets, top 5 pace team, top 3 over team, top 3 offense in the league, bottom 10 defense in the league. The Rockets, since they're not going to be playing their starters much, that means guys like Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore, they're going to be getting more playoff time. They are not good. They are not good defenders. Like Reed Shepherd, like that, he is such an over player. So we've played the over 232, got that down for 2.5 units. Now we see the market consensus at around 235.5. That's a great ticket, and it is no longer playable. So make sure you go follow me at Salt Covers. Get these bets as I place them. Grizzlies and Dallas. This opened at Grizzlies -5.5. It got as up high as Grizzlies -8. Now it's at Dallas -1.5. Again, Grizzlies sitting their entire team. Mavs, AD's not playing. We saw this total open at 236.5. It is now 228.5. Yeah, I got nothing on this game. So let's move on to Timberwolves Jazz. The biggest spread of the season. We saw this open at Timberwolves -20. It is now Timberwolves -23. Yeah, you're crazy if you're playing a Timberwolves -23. God, am I playing a Jazz +23? No. The only angle here is if you just like live bet the Jazz, say they're down by 10 in the first quarter, maybe a lot live bet a Jazz +30, maybe. Just crazy. Total open 231, now at 232.5. I got nothing on that total. Thunder Pelicans. We saw this spread open at Thunder -12. It is now around 12.5, 13. I'm holding a Thunder -12 for 2 units. Now, Thunder, let's have a look at the injury report for this game because we've actually got some action in it. But it's a pretty simple cap. It's like this Thunder team, it doesn't matter who they bring out. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play hard. They're going to go for every single win. And yeah, Shea, Dort, Hartenstein, Holmgren, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, all out. But then you look at the Pelicans side, no Bruce Brown, no Jordan Hawkins, no Missy, no Olynyk, no, Carlo Maktovic. He's like a first-year player who's been at least giving them some solid rotation minutes. And then obviously no Trey Murphy, no Zion, no CJ. So we're holding an OKC -12. If you can pick up a 12.5, I still would go play that. How can you bet against this Thunder team? Like, especially these end of the bench guys, they're going to be hungry to try and get some playoff minutes. So we like the Thunder in this game. Total open around 232.5. It did creep up to around 234.5 and now back at 232.5. I got nothing on the total, but definitely go take OKC against the spread. Best team in the league against the spread. Lakers and Blazers. We saw this open at Blazers -2.5. Now at Blazers -6. We've got no LeBron, no Luka, no Reeves, no Rui, BFS, Blake. Yeah, so I just don't understand why this has moved so far towards the Blazers. Like they're probably going to be missing Denny. And no Scoot, no Anthony Simons. Like, I don't really understand the heavy action towards the Blazers. For me, this is Lakers or nothing, but we're going to go with nothing. We see this total at open at 220.5. It is now, I think it's still at 220. It is at 218.5. So a bit of movement towards the under. That certainly makes sense considering all the guys that are out. Next, Suns and Kings. We saw this open at Kings 10. It is now at Kings minus 15. That's fair enough. No KD, no Beal, no Booker. Yeah, look, I got nothing on this game. This is going to be a gross game. Yeah, I'd say Suns or nothing, but we've got nothing. Here's a game that we do have a bet on. It is the Raptors in San Antonio against the Spurs. We saw this open at Spurs minus 5.5. We saw the sharper books open it at Spurs minus 7.5. We were unable to catch the early wave of line movement. And yeah, this number went from 7.5 straight to 6. Like, no in-betweens, no nothing. And yeah, seeing our projections at Raptors minus 1, we picked up a Raptors plus 6 ticket for 2.5 units. Now, Raptors, no Quickly, no RJ Barrett, no Jakob Poeltl. Scotty Barnes is in. Now, he'll only play around 24 minutes, but just looking at the Spurs side, like no Sohan, no Devin Vassell, like obviously no Fox, no Wemby. It's like, should this Spurs team be favored by 6 against anyone? Like, especially the Raptors, like they're locked into the seeding for capture the flag. Like they don't have to lose this game. Second best team against the spread this entire season. Like, yeah, give me some Raptors plus 6. Now consensus market at around 5 now, so still holding a good ticket. If you're holding a Raptors plus 7, even better. Now at 5, there is a plus 5.5 at Bet Rivers, which I would still go take. If you want to play plus 5, do it for a unit, but we're sitting on 2.5 units, Raptors plus 6. They failed us last time. Let's hope they get us home this time. Okay, now we've got the first play-in game between the Magic and Hawks. Spread opened at Magic minus 5. We're just going to assume full health for this game. We saw the total open at 218.5. So projections are like the over, but am I playing an over in a play-in game that involves the Orlando Magic? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Although I would say like it's over or nothing, and maybe I'll have to dig into this a bit more. But I can't play into this over just yet. As for the spread, yeah, it's very very sharp line already in my opinion. Once some of the sharper books start to open this market, I would say it probably opens around that 4.5, 5.5 range, and I don't even think it moves that much either. I'd say Magic money line. That's something you can play. I personally have not played it, but that's the best angle I can give from that game.
One pair of pants later.
Okay, we are back, and here we've got Dallas and Sacramento. Now this is not locked in as of yet. It could be Dallas hosting Sacramento, but it's probably around a 90% chance it's going to be Dallas in Sacramento playing the Kings. So yeah, we got this game projected at Kings minus 2.5. In terms of my own expectations, I expect this market to open at around Kings minus 1, Kings minus 1.5. I think Dallas will win this game, but I don't think there's going to be a Dallas number that I like enough. Like maybe Dallas plus 3 I would play. If Dallas are plus 3, you can get a money line at like plus 125. I'd play that, but I expect this to open around Kings minus 1, maybe even a pick'em, and that is like there's just not enough value on Dallas for me to take. Total projected at 235. Expect this to open at around 225, and I will probably have nothing on this game. So Next, we have Heat and Bulls. This is a game where I do have action. I'm holding a Bulls moneyline ticket. Got that down for 3 units. Got it at -115. That is available at PointsBet if you're in Australia. If maybe Fanatics is holding the same line. I think they've got the same parent company, but I could be wrong. There is a Bulls -1 for -114 at FanDuel. That is absolutely playable in my opinion. So we have a Bulls team that is 3-0 straight up and against the spread versus Miami. We also have a Bulls team that is 21-9 against the spread when they're playing a bottom 10 pace team. This is this Miami Heat team. They're a pace down team. I don't think they really give a shit if they make the playoffs or not. Whereas you've got this Bulls team, like, the front office, the ownership, they want every single dime they can milk out of this team, and that means 2 extra playoff games. I expect the Bulls to be a lot more motivated going into this game because they've been a play-in team for a little while, but they've always just came short of the playoffs. This is their best team and their best chance in about 3-4 seasons, so we really like the Bulls in this spot. Got it down for 3 units, money line at -115. Next best line is Bulls -1 for -114. As for the total, we see it open around 223.5. Projections like the over, but not going to play into an over in a play-in game. Absolutely not. Who have we got next? Here we go. Bucks Pacers. For game 1 between Bucks Pacers, we see it open at 4.5 to the Pacers. We see the total open at 225.5. Projections like the over. I think we have seen this total tick up a little bit, which I can understand. Like, even though it's game 1 of the playoffs, like seeing a 10-point edge, not bad. I haven't played the over yet. Do need to dig into some of these playoff games a bit more. I have done enough digging into that Bulls game to like the Bulls, put 3 units down on them, but just having an early look ahead to these playoff games because I'm not sure I'll be able to have a chance to talk about them. For this matchup, we see the bit of an edge towards the Bucks in terms of projections, but you guys know where I stand on this Bucks team. I do not like them. So let's move on to last game on the card. We've got the Knicks hosting the Pistons. The Pistons, this being their first playoffs, is just priced into the max here. Like, the Knicks are heavy favorites both in this game and in the series. And the value here is on Detroit. I just can't pull the trigger in this game 1. A Pistons series spread could be interesting, either at +1.5 or +2.5. Because, they're getting disrespected in this market. They've been, not that much worse than this Knicks team. But, like I said, the Pistons, their first playoffs has just been priced into the absolute limit in this matchup. We see a nice edge towards the over, but I'm certainly not playing an over when it's the first playoff game for the majority of their team. So that was a lot of talking, a lot of games to briefly go over. Let's get into our best bets that we've got down. We've got 3 of them on today, and then we're also betting the Bulls money line in the play-in tournament. OKC -12, still, you can get a 12.5. I'd still play that. Unfortunately, Denver, Houston over, no longer playable at 235.5. Raptors plus, you can get a Raptors +5 or +5.5. I would play that for 1 unit. But if you've made it this far, appreciate your attention. Make sure you go follow me at Twitter at Soul Covers, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We won't be back for at least 2 or 3 days. We will be tweeting out where we can, but until next time, let's get them books sold to